late-night horror movie flickered on the screen, casting eerie blue light across Michael Davis's bedroom. He sat cross-legged on his bed, devouring a bowl of popcorn with one hand and gripping the remote with the other. On screen, a vampire bared his fangs and lunged for a screaming woman. "Classic," Michael muttered. His girlfriend, Becky Carlton, sat beside him, arms crossed. "You said we'd study tonight." "We are," Michael said, without looking away. "This is research. The psychology of fear." Becky rolled her eyes. "You're such a dork." Downstairs, his mother called up. "Michael, keep it down. It's almost midnight." Michael turned the volume lower, but as he leaned toward the window for a gulp of cool air, his gaze froze. Across the street, their new neighbors were unloading something from the back of a panel van. Two men, one tall and commanding, with a sweeping black coat and a stylish demeanor. The other, hunched, awkward, more like a shadow. Michael squinted. "Check this out." Becky followed his gaze. They watched as the tall man lifted what looked like a coffin. "No way," Becky said. "You think that's—" "I'm gonna find out," Michael said. The next day, Michael skipped school to watch House across the street. A for sale sign had vanished overnight, and the blinds were drawn tight. But sometime afternoon, the mysterious tall man emerged onto the porch. He was handsome, too handsome, like someone carved out of marble and dressed by Armani. Perfect hair, charming smirk, and sunglasses that seemed glued to his face despite the overcast sky. Michael snapped a photo with his old Polaroid. "Creepy," he whispered. Later that night, as the sun bled orange over the horizon, Michael spotted him again, bringing a woman inside. A young, blonde, nervous, smiling, but wary. The man placed a hand over her lower back and gently led her through the front door. She never came out. The news hit the next morning. Another local girl gone missing. Michael dropped his cereal spoon. "That's the girl from last night." Becky looked at him like he was crazy. "Michael, seriously? You've been watching too many horror movies." "I'm telling you, this guy is up to something. He brought that girl into the house, and she never came out. So she stayed over. Who cares?" Michael leaned forward. I think he's a vampire." Becky burst out laughing. "I'm serious." "Michael," she said, "we're not in a movie." "Exactly," he said. "That's what makes it so perfect." After some poking around, Michael learned the name of the mysterious man. Oliver Hansen. "He's European," said Michael's friend. "Eddie Hardwick, better known around the school as Evil Ed." "European, like Dracula." Michael nodded. "I swear, I saw Fangs. I think he's feeding off the girls he lures in." Ed looked interested. "You're either crazy or onto something. Either way, I'm in." Becky wasn't amused. "This is turning into an obsession." Michael held up the photo he took. "That's not normal. Nobody just moves in and starts hauling in coffins." Becky snatched the photo. "This could be anything. You need proof." "Then I'll get it," Michael said. Michael tried calling the police. They laughed him off. He tried breaking into the house. That didn't end well. Oliver caught him peeking through the basement window. But instead of anger, Oliver invited him inside. The interior was sleek. Velvet drapes, antique furniture, no mirrors. "So, you're the curious one," Oliver said with a smile. Michael stammered. Just welcoming the neighborhood. Oliver poured wine. I enjoy having young people nearby. Keeps things lively. Michael refused the drink. Do you live alone? Oliver smirked. I have an assistant, Roland. He handles daytime matters. Michael tried to peek around the room, but Oliver blocked his view. You're welcome anytime. My door is always open. As Michael turned to leave, Oliver said, But remember, I can only come into your house if I'm invited. Michael froze. Oliver winked. That night, Michael installed a video camera facing Oliver's house. Around 2 a.m., he watched Oliver glide out the back door with his shirt unbuttoned and eyes glowing red in the night. Oliver hovered off the ground. Michael's heart slammed in his chest. Oh my God, he's real. The footage was blurry, but unmistakable. The next day, Michael showed it to Ed and Becky. Ed's jaw dropped. No way. Becky stared in disbelief. This can't be real. Michael grinned. I told you. Now what? Becky asked. Now we kill him. Michael's next move was unconventional but desperate. He knocked on the dressing room door of a man named Ramus Valentine, an aging actor and former star of the late-night horror show Evil Hour. Once a local celebrity, Ramus was now reduced to signing autographs at conventions and doing personal appearances at Halloween stores. Ramus answered in a satin robe, cigarette in hand, thinning hair wild with static. I'm not doing birthday parties anymore, Ramus grumbled. I need your help, Michael said. It's about vampires. Ramus raised a brow. You want a performance? I'm retired. No, Michael said. I need you. There's a real vampire in my neighborhood. He's killing people. I have proof. Ramus gave a slow, tired smile. Son, I've made a career out of pretending monsters are real. But they're not. They never were. Michael pulled out his phone and played the blurry night footage of Oliver floating above the ground. Ramus's smile vanished. I'll pay you, Michael said. Come to my house. Just tell me if he passes your vampire test. Ramus took a long drag on his cigarette. Fine, but don't expect anything more than a show. That evening, Oliver answered the door in a crisp suit. Ramus stepped forward. Theatrical. I am Ramus Valentine, Slayer of the Undead. You may know me from... I do, Oliver said with a smirk. You were the one with the cape and silver cross. Ramus faltered, then held up a mirror. If you don't mind, just a little test, nothing personal. Oliver leaned forward and blew fog on the mirror. His reflection shimmered faintly. Ramus nodded. See? Harmless. Let the boy rest easy. But as they turned to leave, Oliver whispered, Perhaps I should visit your mother sometime, Michael, now that I've been invited in. Michael spun around. What? Oliver's smile widened. Your mother let me in earlier today, while you were out. Such a kind woman. We had a chat. Michael's stomach dropped. Ramus's eyes narrowed. Is it too late to change my mind? The old actor asked. Later that night, Michael found Ed wandering the alley behind the school, shaking. He came for me, Ed whispered. I ran, but he was so fast. Michael pulled him into a hug. We'll get help. But Ed stiffened and turned. His eyes were glowing. His teeth had lengthened. I don't want your help, Michael, he said. Oliver showed me the truth. The power. I don't have to be a loser anymore. Michael stumbled back. You let him turn you? Ed laughed. He gave me a choice. Something no one ever did. Guess what? I said yes. Michael ran. Ed didn't chase. He just stood there, whining, fangs gleaming in the dark. Oliver came for Becky next. He didn't need to break in. He waited, patient, charming. And when she and Michael fought, when she left the house in tears, Oliver was waiting in the shadows of the street lamp. He didn't frighten her. He understood her. The things Michael didn't. Her loneliness, her doubts. In his house, he played piano, served wine, spoke of ancient art and beauty and immortality. You don't have to feel ordinary, Oliver whispered. You can live here forever, loved, desired, powerful. Becky shivered. Why me? Because I see you, he said, leaning in, and I want you. When he kissed her, her body melted. When he bit her, she didn't scream. Ramus Valentine had been drinking for hours. When Michael banged on his door, she's gone, Michael said. He took Becky. You were right. This is real. Ramus closed his eyes. Do you know how many times I hoped something like this would happen? That I'd get a chance to be a real hero. Then prove it, Michael said. We need to kill him tonight. Ramus looked at the wooden stake in Michael's hand. Do you know how to use that? He asked. Michael didn't answer. Ramus sighed. Then I guess I'll have to teach you. They armed themselves. Stakes, crosses, vials of holy water. Ramus bought a mirror and a silver dagger he'd used in Evil Hour Season 3. This isn't a movie, Michael said. No, Ramus said, but I've been preparing for this one my whole life. The house was darker than before, silent. The air inside was colder than outside. They crept through the halls. Ramus led with the mirror, checking corners. Michael held the stake tight enough to turn his knuckles white. Roland, the assistant, lunged from the shadows. He was barely human now, more shadow than a man. Ramus swung the mirror, blinding him, and Michael drove the stake into his chest. Roland shrieked and exploded into ash. I guess that works, Michael panted. They descended into the basement. The coffins were there. One was open. Oliver's empty. Another held Becky. She stirred, eyes golden. Becky, Michael cried. You're not gone. Ramus held Michael back. She's turning. If we don't kill Oliver before sunrise, she's lost. Oliver appeared behind them, rising from the darkness like a god. You're brave, Michael, but foolish. He hurled Ramus across the room like a rag doll. Michael swung the stake, but Oliver caught in midair and snapped it in two. You can't stop me. Ramus, bleeding and dazed, crawled towards a broken window. Sunrise, he whispered. Buy me time. Michael grabbed a vial of holy water and threw it in Oliver's face. The vampire screamed, flesh hissing. Ramus pulled the curtain just as the sun broke the horizon. Light streamed into the basement. Oliver screamed. His skin blistered. He turned to flee but stumbled into the beam of light. His body erupted, first in flame, then in light, and finally in ash. Becky collapsed unconscious. Michael ran to her. Her eyes fluttered open. Human again. It's over, he said, holding her close. Ramus, leaning against the wall, gave a bloody smile. That was my final performance. Weeks passed. The police blamed everything on a gas explosion and mental breakdowns. The bodies were never found. The house was boarded up again. Becky recovered. She remembered very little. Ramus vanished. No one had seen him since that night. Michael stood at his window, staring at the abandoned house. The street was quiet again. But sometimes, just sometimes, when the moon was full and the wind was still, he thought he saw a flicker of movement in the shadows, and a voice, smooth as velvet, whispering, "I'll be back if you invite me." If you enjoyed the video, like and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.